A few years ago, my wife, her parents, and I had just spent a wonderful time visiting Rome, and today was our travel day. We needed to get from our Airbnb to the airport, but we made one critical mistake that could have ruined our entire trip. We got on the wrong train. A train ride that should have taken us 15 minutes ended up taking us an hour and a half. We arrived at the airport super late, we rushed through security, we ran to our gate and just barely made it onto our plane. That day could have turned out so much worse. Let me explain why. Travel days are always the hardest days of any European vacation. It's where it's so easy to make these simple mistakes that can throw off the entire day. And often those mistakes are caused by something really simple. It's called decision fatigue. It's where you're having to make all these little tiny decisions on the fly the day that you're traveling from one location to another. You see, when you're traveling with multiple generations, everybody's gonna have a certain amount of energy in each day. And on those travel days, it's easy for those kids' energy levels to drain quickly. It's easy for the grandparents to lose energy quickly. And if you're having to make lots and lots of decisions throughout the day that you're traveling, everyone's energy levels are gonna go down very fast. You're gonna very quickly go from enjoying your day to being cranky and upset and fighting. So here's the rule. On those travel days, I wanna make sure that you've made every single decision beforehand. That's right, every decision needs to be made before your travel day. And let me get into the specifics on what that means. If you're planning to get to the train station or airport by taxi, it's also critical, I think, that you've booked that taxi the night before. You can actually go in, you can find the local taxi app, and when you're traveling with a big group, make sure that you're going in and reserving a van so that you have a big enough vehicle that's going to take you from your Airbnb to the train station or the airport. If your family is going to be traveling by train, I want you to make sure that, first off, you've booked those train tickets ahead of time. Train tickets shouldn't be something you're buying the day of your travel. Remember, many of these European cities have multiple train stations, so make sure that you're headed to the right train station and then write down and confirm what train you need to be getting on. That right there would have been the thing that would have saved our Rome trip. When you're booking these train tickets, it's also really important to book times that are going to work for your family. Make sure that you're booking train times that are going to be a little bit later in the morning and that are going to give you enough time to get out of your Airbnb and arrive at the train station. I like to get to the train station at least 45 minutes to maybe an hour before my train's going to leave. That's going to give you enough time to navigate through the train station, to have any hiccups that might occur in traffic, and that's still going to give you plenty of time to get to your train and not feel like you're rushing across that train station. I'd also highly recommend that you get first class train tickets. This is going to give you much more comfort and a much easier train ride. It's going to allow you to have assigned seats, and it's going to take your day from something that's okay to something that's really great. The seats are going to be more comfortable for the grandparents, it's going to be quieter, and it's just going to make that whole day so much more enjoyable. Before you hop on that train, make sure that you stop into one of the wonderful markets that are at many train stations in Europe. You can buy snacks, you can buy sandwiches, you can buy drinks. Make sure you pick these up before you get on the train. Because let me tell you from experience, if you're traveling 3 hours from one city to another, having a well-fed kid is going to make that journey so much more enjoyable for the entire family. There's one more thing that you need to make sure you have in place on these travel days, and that's the last mile. When you arrive at your destination city, make sure that you have a plan for how you're going to get from the train station to your new accommodations. Make sure that you've have a taxi booked ahead of time, or know where the car rental place is, or know how to walk there. Again, you're going to pull out your notes app, you're going to have this all written down, and it's going to be easy for you to navigate from the train to your Airbnb. That last mile is so key to making sure that your family is going to get to their new Airbnb having enough energy to enjoy the rest of your day. But there is one external factor that you need to think about when traveling by train in Europe, and that is specifically train strikes. So train strikes do happen in Europe, but often when they happen, they're going to post warning about them 48 hours beforehand. So you can actually go onto the train's website and check to see if any strikes are going to occur on your travel days. If they are, By checking ahead of time, that's going to give you time to make a new plan to figure out a new way to get to one city to another. So to reiterate, your only job on that travel day is to get your family from one location to another. You shouldn't be making any decisions. You shouldn't be winging it. What that's going to do for you is keep your energy intact. It's going to allow you to actually enjoy that train ride, enjoy that travel day with your family. And up next, what I want to do is show you this in the real world. I want to share a story with you about how my family has taken these steps and had some of the best travel days of our lives. On our last trip to France, we had just spent 5 wonderful days visiting Paris. Today was our travel day. And on this travel day, I had pre-booked our taxis. I knew what train station we needed to get to. We arrived at the train station an hour before our train needed to leave. We bought some snacks in the train station beforehand. We all hopped on the train, sat down in our assigned first class seats, and got ready to go. But one of the most magical things happened once we got onto that train. Let me tell you about it. This train ride was actually the first time my son had ever ridden on a train. My wife, his grandparents, and I all got to watch as the train pulled out of the station and quickly made its way up to high speeds. We left the city of Paris, and we all got to watch as he kneeled up on his seat, pressed his face against the window, and watched as the French countryside went by. We got to see windmills, old farmhouses, and so much more. And it was truly a magical experience that we all got to just sit back and enjoy, because he had these wonderful seats on the train, and we'd done all of the pre-booking beforehand. We all had the energy to actually watch and see my son enjoy himself for the first time on a European train. As our 3-hour train ride continued, we were able to get out the food we purchased beforehand. We ate sandwiches. Eventually we got out my son's tablet, let him watch some cartoons, and I just looked over as my wife's parents were enjoying themselves, looking on their tablets. My wife was reading her book, and we were all just a family on a train traveling through Europe. And this was how we pictured our travel day actually going. And it was just such a great experience. It really highlights how wonderful the high-speed trains are in Europe. We arrived in La Rochelle several hours later, and our family still had enough energy to get from the train station to our new accommodation, to get unpacked, and actually have enough time to get out as a family and explore and enjoy this new French city. All that prep work beforehand is what led to this travel day actually being a great part of our vacation. Well, that's what I have for you this week. I hope you found this information to be useful and that you take it into consideration as you're planning your family's next trip to Europe. I think it's going to really help you a lot. If you found today's content useful, you may want to check out this video right up here. It's where I talk about the number of cities that you should visit on a 2-week trip to Europe. But thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.